Today I am before you with a new topic, that is reading comprehension. In reading section, for both the classes 11 and 12, this year a slight change has been made. So in class 11 you will have reading comprehension. You say reading comprehension will carry 26 marks. You will have 3 passages. The first passage will be of for multiple choice question. The second passage will be for multiple choice question, and the third passage will be for note making. This is especially for standard 11. In standard 12 you will have 2 passages, and from both these 2 passages MCQ questions will be asked, and this section for standard 12 will carry 20 marks. So reading comprehension is very much needed, not only for your examination but even in your day-to-day life. And this is the saddest part, that it is very often ignored by you children. You don't pay as much attention to reading comprehension as you are expected to. So before I go in detail, can you tell me what do you understand by reading comprehension? Reading comprehension is an understanding and interpretation of what is read. Reading, once again I do repeat, reading comprehension is an understanding and interpretation of what is read. In order to understand a piece of writing which is before you, you need to be able to decode what you read. Now I must explain the term decode. What does this decode mean? By decode I mean phonological awareness. Phonological awareness. So this means that you try to recall the words you come across which has very often been heard by you, but you have not been confronted to this word in writing. So you gather information, you just try to get the meaning of the words by decoding them. कि कभी हमने ऐसा सुना है, कहीं हमने सुना है, इसको रिटन फॉर्म में नहीं हमने देखा, लेकिन कोई जैसे somebody was talking about something, somebody was speaking on such and such topic and he used such a word. So this is called phonological awareness. Decoding what you read. The second thing, in order to be able to comprehend a piece of writing, the second thing you are supposed to do is to make a connection between what you know and what you read. Because it is said that if you don't have any understanding about any topic, it is worthless for you to read. It is said that pouring words into your mouth, into your head, is very much like pouring water on your hands if you don't have any understanding. So you are supposed to make connection between what you know and what you read. You have to make a relation between your own prior knowledge and the piece of writing you are reading. The third thing is that after the reading completes, you must think over deeply. So it is also said that reading involves 3 stages: before you read, during your reading, and after you have completed the reading. Before you read, what does this mean? Before you read, this means कि पढ़ने से पहले, मतलब आप जैसे उसके मान लो टाइटल है, उस टाइटल को देखते हो और टाइटल देख करके फिर कुछ बहुत अंदाजा करते हो. You just have a glance of 1 or 2 line and you just make some inference, कुछ गेस करते हैं. तो this is called the process before the reading. Again, during the reading, whenever you are going through the lines, reading between the lines, this is called reading between the lines, to get the idea as much as you can. And the third is कि after you have completed the reading, you ponder over, you think over, and thereafter you make some conclusion. So this reading is not a very an easy job. It's rather a challenging job. So it needs your special attention, children. In the beginning I have told you that it is very often neglected and you feel that you can do it whenever you come across any passage, any unseen passage. But the thing is not like this. This year only MCQs will be asked, and in order to be able to answer the MCQs, you are supposed to have a very clear-cut understanding of the passage you are reading. Now, this reading comprehension, you are very well aware of this word. I have just told you the distribution of marks for class standard 11. The first passage and the second passage, both the passages will be of 600 to 750 words. This is for class 11. And for 12, the 2 passages. Again, 2 passages, 700 to 750 words. This is for class 12. The word limit has also been reduced this year. So for 11th, the 2 passages will be of 600 to, both the passages including 750 words, and for 12 it will be 700 to 750 words. And this year for 12 there is no note making, but as far as 11 is concerned, in standard 11 will have the 3rd passage also, which will be for note making and summary writing. Okay, now let me tell you the objectives of reading. What are the benefits of reading? Why do we read? Why do we need to read something? Which things we get after reading? Which qualities are inculcated by this process of reading? The number 1 is it helps the students develop the knowledge, skills and strategies they must possess to become a proficient reader. The first thing, that it develops the knowledge, skills and strategies that a student possesses to become a proficient an efficient reader. It also trains you for critical reading and thinking. Whenever you go through a passage, a piece of writing, it gives you an opportunity to be critical, to analyze, to be analytical, to judge it on the basis of your own knowledge. So it gives you an opportunity to be critical in reading and thinking. It also develops your vocabs. So as far as vocabs relate to reading, these are very important. This is very important. You must have a very sound understanding of vocabularies. And for that, you need to be exposed to different novels, stories, drama, newspapers. You can, this question is very often asked by the students, how to develop vocabs. So this is not a magic wand that somebody will give you. This is not a magic wand that somebody will touch and you will have a very profound knowledge of vocabs. No, it is a very slow process, slow and steady. And it simply depends on what you read and how you listen to others. How much do you read? Third objective of reading is to develop your vocabulary and to enable you to learn the vocabs you have learned in new context. Because see, the same word has different meanings when the context is changed. Sometimes the word is used as a verb, sometimes as an adjective, sometimes a noun. So this enables you to identify the status of words in which they are used and use them in new context. Number 4 is that it familiarizes students to different writing styles. So it makes you familiar with different types of writing style. So this is one of the benefits of your reading, that you are exposed to different writing styles: descriptive, narrative, discursive, literary, factual. So it exposes you to different writing styles. It also enables you to develop your writing style and paraphrasing or summarizing skill. It enables you, whenever you go through a piece of writing, you are able to understand the writer's attitude, the writer's opinion on a topic concerned. It also enables you to comprehend the difference between what is said and what is implied. I mean, by the practice of this reading, you are able to delve deep into the subject matter. What is said and what is implied, कि क्या लिखा हुआ है और उसका मतलब क्या है. At the same time, where does it aim at? So this enables you to differentiate between what is said and what is implied. At the same time, it also enables you to differentiate between facts and opinions, claims and realities. It also enables you that in a particular piece of writing, which are the facts and which are the opinions, what is the reality and what is claimed. So it gives you a thorough understanding. It develops a vast canvas before you. It also enables you to arrive at a particular conclusion of your own, and that conclusion is essentially of your own. You are able to arrive at a particular conclusion of your own and comment on a given text, on a given piece of writing. Unless you form your own opinion, unless you form your own conclusion about a particular piece of writing, you cannot be able to comment on it. And this is what this reading habit develops in you. It also inculcates logical spirit in you. You are in a position to justify your side, your opinion in a logical way. You are able to defend your stand in a logical way. It makes you able to stand to face somebody and justify your own opinion, justify your own claim in a logical way. At the same time, it also enables you to identify the different elements of writing style, like humor, pathos, satire, irony, etc. So you are exposed to all these things. Now, these are the objectives of reading, the benefits that you get, the advantages that you have after you develop a habit of reading. So it is not only important from the point of view of examination. Of course, it is more important for you from that point of view, but at the same time, you must prepare yourself. You must be an extensive reader, and an extensive reader is able to form his own opinion. Gradually it happens. It is a very slow, I have already told you, it is a very slow process. It will take time, but it will prepare you as an intellectual. It will enable you to give or to develop an intellectual approach towards things, towards a piece of writing. So apart from your examination point of view, this reading habit is highly desirable. It is highly desirable for you to inculcate this reading habit. So in my next class, I will let you know the strategies which we adopt to comprehend a passage. There are a few techniques that we must adopt. If you start reading, you yourself will develop your own techniques. But before you come to that point, in my next class, I will let you know how to comprehend a passage. What are the strategies that you must adopt in order to comprehend a passage? So this is part 1. In next class, we will discuss the part 2 of this topic.